What's up, everybody? Real Estate Nate here, coming to you with a video about sales training. Now, my goal for this channel, Investor Thrive Nation, is to provide you guys with value on how you can improve and make more money. So I just got a contract signed from a seller, and I'll say it wasn't 100% smooth. We had to go back and forth. It was a creative financing deal where he's going to finance us so we can flip the property. But what happened is during the call, the seller got a little heated on me. He got a little upset. But I know from sales training what to do, what to say to a seller if they go negative or if they get really upset or lose their cool. So I'm going to explain to you in this video how to overcome that objection when a seller gets upset, or maybe they maybe they don't trust you or they feel like you led them astray. I'm going to explain the situation and how I overcame this and how I got this contract and this deal. It hasn't closed yet, but we signed today, and I think it'll be a nice, probably like a $80,000 deal, cross your fingers. So anyway, stay tuned, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, check out investorthrive.com for free training. And if you want to set up a time with me about my mentorship, you can set up a time and we'll chat. So tune into the video. Go to investorthrive.com right now to check out some of our free training on how you can make money as a real estate investor, or schedule a time with me so we can chat about our mastermind mentorship and how we can help you learn how to wholesale nationwide and grow your business. All right, everybody, thanks for joining. So, guys, there's a couple good nugs that you can take away from this experience. So I'm going to explain the situation of how we got this deal and how I was able to overcome the objection of the seller getting upset and why he got upset, all right? I don't get a lot of sellers upset, but this one was, I'll explain. So what had happened is we have a CRM. We just switched over to Salesforce, and we've been using that system for about almost a year now, and it's been really good. So I made this offer to the seller last December, so about five months ago, and he didn't accept my offer at the time, so I sent him a letter of intent, a written offer, and then I put him in a drip campaign where he would get emails every so often saying, hey, we're still interested in selling. So what happened is about a month ago, I got an email saying, hey, I'm ready to sell now. And what had happened is my drip had been emailing him for the last couple months, and he was finally ready. So I called him up, and I said, hey, let's talk about your house. I made you an offer back in the day. What are you looking at? So my original offer is $515. Now the seller wanted $575 4 months later because the market's going crazy. So he wanted that much more. But the house wasn't worth that much more. I think the house in its current condition is worth $575. So I do a lot of, coaching right now, and I'm a little bit more focused on doing that than just pure acquisitions like I used to. So I gave it to my acquisitions rep at the time, and he said he would go talk to him. So what ended up happening is I was talking to the seller. I handed off to my acquisition guy. My acquisition guy had some stuff going on in his life, so he really never followed up with the seller as well as he should have. So the seller ended up calling me back and being like, hey, what's going on? Like, I need to know what's happening. So I said, look, I'm going to take it from here. Let's talk the deal. So the seller wanted $575, but the house is worth $575 as is. If you fix up the house, it's probably worth about $620. So I said to him, look, if you fix this house up and sold it on the MLS after commissions and fees, you wouldn't even really make $575. So I can't give you $575. What I can do is we can possibly work something out around $520,000 if you finance me to flip this house. I wasn't looking to wholesale this one because in Utah right now, you put anything on the MLS, it's going to sell for above asking price. That's what's happening if it's decent and you present it well. So I said, hey, if you can finance me this flip for about $520, then I will. Then I can pay more than that. If you just want a cash offer and me to cash out, it's gonna be around $450. So he's like, okay. He originally wanted $575, but he's like, okay, I totally understand. After I broke the numbers down, but there's some things you have to get on the same page when you do a creative financing deal, like the balloon payment. When are you going to pay the person out? Who's going to take over the payments? So what had happened is we had agreed tentatively on certain terms. So I ran it by my team, and my team said, hey, maybe you can get a little bit better terms to make it a little bit better. So I called them today, and I said, hey, I know we had talked about this. I just wanted to run a couple scenarios by you just to see what options would be best. And, when I started presenting the other options, the seller got really upset. He said, look, I thought we had already agreed to something. I thought we already agreed to the terms, and now you're presenting more, or you're trying to change it. And I don't like that because I have some other offers on the table. And he got upset with me. And I've been doing this long enough that I understand that you have to, when someone comes at you like that or gets upset, you have to, it's what John Martinez teaches in other sales training, you have to go negative. You have to go more not okay than they are, so it doesn't, get confrontational. So what I said, what happened, he's like, hey, I don't think this is good. He was saying, like, I don't know if I trust working with you because you're trying to change the terms. And I said, hey, listen, sir, I just want to step back. I apologize. I never meant to, offend you if I did. And all I'm trying to do is present options. So this is a win-win for both of us. If I said anything to offend you or anything like to make you feel like I don't care or I guess not taking this serious, I want to apologize. So I took it, went more not okay than he did. And he's like, you know what? Honestly, it's fine. I just want to go forward and not have things change so much. So I said, look, again, I'm just trying to, come to an agreement, because these deals, when we do creative financing, instead of me having to go get hard money and flip this deal, you're financing it for me. So we have to agree on certain things. So I'm not trying to get shady or do anything. But if we're going to enter into this relationship and work together on this deal, and you're going to finance me, then we have to agree on, terms, length of terms, how much money, if any, if you give any down, and I address the concern, and instead of going not okay and just leaving it as is, I even went further and I said, look, I know you said there's some other offers on the table. I mean, would you rather go with them? Like, what did they offer you? And he told me that they had offered a couple $1,000s less than me, but because I was able to structure something and give them some money up front, down, and I even said, hey, if we can sell this thing for more than $615, let's split anything above that. And that incentivized him. He's like, okay. And I don't mind. I'm going to make good money if we sell it at $615, and I want him to benefit by financing us the deal for us. So I even brought up the negative, the roadblock, the concern, I guess the deal breaker about the other offers, because the thing you find out, guys, is when you're talking to a seller, you have to address the concerns. So if he got upset with me and I was just like, well, okay, I'm sorry about that, but let's talk more about the deal, it might have been toast. He might have just been like, you know what, I'm not working with you. But what I did is I apologized and went more not okay. I brought out the concerns of the other deal killers. I said, hey, you keep on bringing these other offers out. Do you want to go with them? Because I'm not here to make you do anything. If we enter this deal, I mean, we both have to agree on it. We both have to feel good about it. So anyway, after overcoming the objection of him getting upset, we were able to, settle down. I wrote up the paperwork, wrote up the addendum for the seller finance terms, and, I sent that over to him. And before I sent it over to him, I wanted to re-verify that I had overcome the objection the right way. And I said, hey, look, before I send this over to you, I just want to verify. I apologize that, this deal has changed, or, you feel like it's, hasn't been as straightforward. That's just, unfortunately, that's how it works sometimes. But before I send this contract over, everything we've agreed to the terms and the purchase price and the balloon, do you feel comfortable with that? And are you ready to sign if I send this over to you? And he said, yeah, no, I'm ready to go. So I said, okay, give me 10, 15 minutes. I'll write it up and I'll call you once I get it through. So wrote it up, sent it to his email, called him, walked him through it. Him and his wife signed. And, we got it done. So the purpose of this video is just to give you guys a little bit more information on specific sales tactics. I mean, I have been doing sales for several years now, like, 10 years plus. And you always want to address the concern. Always. If you do not address the negative or the deal killer or the roadblock, I mean, you can call it whatever you want. If you don't address it, then it's going to come up later. And if not, then you're really, if it doesn't, you really risk it, potentially killing the deal. So whenever I feel something uncomfortable, you guys can feel it on the phone, like, you can feel like an energy, like, something's not right. Call it out. Say, hey, you know what? I just want to make sure, you feel good about moving forward. Is there something on your mind? I always ask the seller, hey, is there anything I've missed? Is there anything else that you'd like for me to go over before we continue? Because you don't want to push the seller, make them feel like you're pushing them to the deal. I never do that. I always give them options, and I always address the concerns and say, hey, is there anything else that you feel you would like me to cover so you feel comfortable moving forward on this deal? So anyway, one last thing, just a recap, guys. if a seller, if you feel that bad energy or if they get upset at you, go more negative, go more not okay than they do to and address the concern. They get really upset. Just say, oh, my sincerest apologies. I did not mean to offend you. I apologize for anything that might have. Honestly, you guys might think it's like a little B move, like, oh, I'm really sorry. But that's how you overcome it. Because if you come at them, if they get upset and you're like, oh yeah, you get upset too, then that doesn't help solve anything. So I always want to work with people who are, easy to work with, and I find the easiest way to work with people is to address the negative energy situation and move forward. It's pretty simple. You can even relate it to girls. If I'm not dating anymore because I'm married, but when I was dating, if I ask a girl out on a date and I can feel their energy that they're not really interested, I'm not going to go on that date. I'm going to say, hey, would you like to go on a date with me this Friday? I don't know. I say, hey, you know what? Totally understand. You're probably not interested. No problem. And, just by addressing the concern or the negative feeling in there, it like relieves the pressure. And the girl might say, actually, I would like to go out with you. You've relieved the pressure. I have no pressure. But if you're like, hey, you like to go out? Well, I don't know. No. And you're like, hey, no, like, we'll do something really fun. Like, you should definitely go out with me. It gets weird. Okay. So same thing with sellers. They have a negative concern. They say something. If they get upset, you don't push them more and be like, no, let's get this signed. You just say, oh, let's take this back. Maybe I'm not the perfect fit for you. I'm sorry if I did anything. I was really trying my best to work something out and make it a win-win, but my apologies. So take that sales skill and turn it sideways. And I'm just kidding, but use it. All right. I'm here. My mentorship, my mastermind mentorship, Investor Thrive Hive Mastermind is there not only to help you guys improve in your sales skills, but help you dispo your properties, teach you how to run a wholesaling business. But I specialize, I believe, in sales skills, and our sales dispositions and our acquisitions process is killer. We even are training virtual assistants, people overseas, to run our company. We've stopped hiring people that are local and Americans, I guess, in our local market to do acquisitions. We're training people overseas to do it, and they're crushing it. So if you want to learn how to do these things from me and my mastermind and how we're crushing and getting deals every month, hit me up at investorthrive.com, schedule time to talk to me. But I hope this video helped you to improve your sales skills, and there's more where that came from. Have a good one. Bye.